Hello, everyone. This is Taki'h. Welcome to Practice of the Week. So this week has been particularly impactful by the whole coronavirus pandemic situation, closing of borders, and all kinds of other measures to try to contain the virus. So we might be finding ourselves feeling isolated, even if we are not in strict home confinement, quarantine, or hospital. We might still feel somehow disconnected or isolated from the the ones we love. Maybe we can't get to them by travel because of the borders being closed, or just that people are walking around with masks on and with gloves, and it's just it makes us feel like there's a disconnection. So I wanted to share today with you about the concept of strokes. This is something that I learned in my therapy training, and it's an incredible tool. So strokes, what are strokes? So people think of strokes in English as something like, okay, I'm stroking my hand. Okay, yes, but that's not how, it's not that specific. It's not that limited, the word strokes, in the way that it's used here. So the word stroke is any recognition that I'm alive. Any recognition that I'm alive. Now that could be healthy or unhealthy. It can be verbal or non-verbal. It can be physical or not physical. It can be from myself or from anyone else, or from nature itself. Any recognition that I'm alive, because as an infant, I need that recognition in order to develop, to grow, and I associate survival, my ability to maintain, to be alive and to develop, with love. Survival is a love. So any recognition that I'm alive it touches my survival. It touches my feeling that yes, I'm meant to be here and I should be here and I'm thriving. But it also touches my sense of feeling loved and feeling that I am vibrating, either giving love or receiving love. So strokes are a authentic way of expressing love and receiving love. So there are 5 ways that we limit ourselves from that unconditional or um, endless fountain of love flow, giving and receiving. And that these 5 ways are not culture specific. They are not age specific, not anything specific. They are universal, and they're not something your parents do on purpose to try to, make sure that you come out traumatized or something. It's the way that our society functions, and the more we recognize how we're doing that, the more we can live in healthier, more loving, and more fulfilling, more nourishing ways. So strokes. This is very important right now. If you're feeling disconnected, this will be a tool that you can use for yourself to come back to love, to come back to feeling alive, to come back to feeling connected. So what are these 5 ways we learn to limit ourselves from love, from either giving or receiving love? First, I do not give the strokes that I want to give. Giving strokes. So whether it's a compliment, that it's acknowledging somebody, the way they look, the way they're dressed, or how clever something was that they said, or how important it was, or just thank you for being in my life, or any kind of stroke that I want to give, whether it's verbal or not verbal, physical or not physical, can also be unhealthy. So when we're giving unhealthy strokes or receiving unhealthy strokes, it's because we're willing to settle for, let's say, rotten food. If I'm hungry, so let's say, for example, me, I'm lactose intolerant. So, but if I'm starving, if I haven't eaten for days and I'm not on a fast, I might be, or weeks, I might be willing to eat cheese, even though I know it's going to hurt me, but I will choose survival over nothing. So if you are kept hungry from strokes, from being in the flow of strokes, the flow of love, then you will settle for less. You will settle for what a hungry, starving person would settle for, and that might be rotten. And so that's an analogy that if I'm not my bank of strokes, my account, my bag is not full or to a certain level, then I might settle for unhealthy strokes. So I might give unhealthy strokes also. If I'm in an unloving place inside of me, I might be sharing that lack of love with others or withdrawing. So I just may not give strokes, or I might be negative, even physically abusive or verbally aggressive or whatever, withdrawing. So not giving strokes is one way we limit ourselves. So of course the antidote is always do. So do give strokes to others. So how is that important during this time? Well, if you feel that you're disconnected, reach out and give, whether that's a phone call or saying, hey ma, I know it's been a while, but since we both have more free time in our hands right now, thought I'd call, whatever. Give strokes, eye contact, physical contact if you can, your time, your energy. Give of yourself. Give recognition to others that they exist. It allows you to feel that you exist. That's the point. So giving strokes. Second way we limit our flow of love is not being able to receive strokes. So, the classical example of mother has been working on the meal for hours in the kitchen, and somebody compliments it and says, oh, this is fabulous, this is so delicious, or you've outdone yourself, and mother says, oh no, it's too much salt, or there was no, I burned it, or whatever. So that you're not allowing yourself to receive the strokes that you would want to receive. So to open yourself up to receiving. And now in this moment where things might seem more limiting, whoa, so there is love pouring down on us at all times. Open your eyes and recognize it. See it, and let it in. Let it really in. Let it nourish your cells and your body and your whole being. Receiving any recognition, healthy, loving recognition that you are alive. So not limiting what you, the love that you let in, not limiting the strokes that you let in, not pushing it away or diminishing its value, discounting it, or not even recognizing it, that it's all around you, whether that's a friend's message or a beautiful sunset that you can see from your window, or the stars, the moon at night, whatever. Receive the strokes, abundant strokes the universe is showering down at you all the time. So that's the second one. Third one, don't ask for the strokes that you want. This is another way we limit ourselves, and we see that a lot in our way of living. That we see that we are. We hold ourselves back. We see the examples of don't be a burden. Don't ask. Don't demand. Don't be too much. Don't 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 ask for what you want. So this is a particularly tough one, because of course then no one can know what you need. No one can know what you want. I mean, sure, they can guess, and eventually it becomes really obvious. But to let yourself open up, say, yeah, I need some support. I'm going into fear right now. I need some uplifting, whatever, thoughts, music, touch, whatever. Ask for what you need. Ask for what you want. So breaking that cycle. That conditioning of not being able to ask for the strokes that you need, the strokes that you want, the strokes that are going to nourish you. Get in touch with what is it that my body needs, what is it that my body feels a lack of. And maybe it's a delicious meal, or maybe it is touch, or whatever it is, and ask for what you need, ask for what you want, even if it's virtual. And that's the third one. Fourth one, don't say no to the strokes you don't want. big one. We're raised as children that we don't say no, that, kiss your grandmother, even if you don't feel like it, finish your food, even if you don't feel like it. You just can't say no to things, especially as a child. And as we grow up, that continues in schools and in society, that we feel we can't say no, or we can't put boundaries to what doesn't feel right or what isn't healthy for me right now. So one of the things that's happening right now that isn't healthy for anybody is all the stress. So fear and stress are not going to keep you healthy. Fear and stress are not going to prevent you from getting an infection. Fear and stress are not going to keep you alive. In fact, they will have all the opposite effects. Self-responsibility, yes, sure. Concern and educated, informed decision-making, sure. But stress, panic, a lot of fear, no, it's not. So what can you do? Yeah. So it's difficult to say no when all the fear is coming from every which way. One is to not believe all the fear-based media and stuff that's going around. That doesn't mean you don't take responsibility, but you can spend an equal amount of time or more in positive, healthy, loving, uplifting, soul affirming, body positive, life positive, whatever, information, news, connections, discussions. So saying no to something is also can be a yes to something. So when I say a yes to this, I'm saying no to that, and limiting the amount of what you take in terms of what you know is going to stir fear in you. I mean, how many times do you need to read the same article? Yeah. So saying no to the strokes that you don't want, that aren't right for you right now. And fifth way we limit ourselves from receiving the strokes that we need or we want in order to, not receiving, but from recognition that I'm alive, is not giving strokes to yourself. So I'm not giving strokes to myself. The classic example of, somebody, I'm waiting for my partner to remember our anniversary or to notice my haircut or to make whatever comment or happy birthday or whatever, and my partner doesn't. And I go on sulking instead of going out and buying myself flowers, taking myself out to dinner, or, asking for the strokes that I want. Hey, what do you think of my hair? My new hairdo. Give yourself the strokes that you need. And this is particularly important if you are in isolation or feel really disconnected from others. How are you going to meet your own needs right now? And of course, there is the virtual connections and phones and all that I've already spoken to. But when it comes down to it, and if you are alone at home and this is more of where your situation is more like that, then you do have to depend more on giving strokes to yourself. And this is so important, to look at yourself in the mirror, to give and give yourself loving feedback, compliments, words, to touch yourself lovingly or self-pleasure yourself, to cook yourself yummy food, to give yourself the strokes that you need, that you want, and to receive that. And that's not somehow less, that's not somehow a poor substitute, unless, I wish I had a partner or a friend or a family member, my mom or whoever, to do that for me. No, it's not. It's an incredible way of giving yourself the recognition that you're alive and love. And at the end of the day, during this time, what is fear asking us to face? It's asking us to look at, do we want to live? Fully live, not survive. Not survive, not toilet paper stocking survive, because that's not even survival. Because, yeah, you can find other ways to wipe yourself. Toilet paper isn't going to help you survive, but it's connecting to life. And these times are asking us to connect to life and to connect to love. These are the 5 ways. You look at your own life and see how you limit yourself in these 5 ways. And, don't be hard on yourself. Like I said, this is cross-cultural, cross-generational, religion, anything, class, economics, anything. This applies to the whole world, unfortunately. And you don't have to live that way. You can change things for yourself. So right now you might have more time on your hands than usual or that you wish. So use it wisely and realign with love, realign with life. What is going to make you feel alive? Recognition that you're alive and loved, because life and love are the same. So this is my gift for you, for everyone out there. Please share it with others. This is a resource, a tool that you can use. Start with, pick one thing that this is really hard for me, and apply that, and use every day, every hour, moments, examples, experiences from your everyday life to apply it, especially now. This is where we get tested. This is the choice we have between fear and love. Fear and life. Wishing you the best on your journey. Would love to hear from you, or if you have any questions or any comments. My sincerest love to you all. Thank you for joining me today.